Hello, and thank you for joining me today to learn about several Itential open source pre-builds that can be readily implemented out of the box to serve as a great starting point for your customized CI/CD pipeline architecture, useful for promoting and deploying your team's Itential automations to a higher IAP environment. Pre-built Wizard will be used to package a network automation that I have built on my dev IAP server, bundling its components into a new pre-built of its own. And pre-built promotion will be used to push that pre-built to a specified version control service, along with pipeline scripts to deploy the pre-built to a staging environment of IAP. Today, supported specified version control services include GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket. Let's start at the beginning. Let's say I'm an automation engineer and I have this network automation labeled Demo Automation. This automation consists of several components that I've built in my dev IAP server. This operations manager automation, labeled Demo Automation, a parent workflow, which we see here referred to as Demo Parent Workflow. That workflow contains a reference to a child workflow, and that child workflow contains a JSON schema transformation. Since I'm finished developing my automation components, my next step is to run the Itential open source pre-built named Pre-built Wizard. Pre-built Wizard will link these many automation components together as a new pre-built bundle. Automation engineers can install and access Itential open source pre-builts, including Pre-built Wizard, by navigating to the application Admin Essentials and then clicking the cloud icon. I can search for pre-built to find Pre-built Wizard, and as you can see, I already have Pre-built Wizard and Pre-built Promotion installed, and they are available for my viewing within Admin Essentials. When reviewing Pre-built Wizard in Admin Essentials, I can see the README for this version specifies that there are several installation prerequisites. For example, I need the custom application app artifacts installed with at least version 6.1.16. Let's quickly navigate to the profile within Admin Essentials to confirm that I have app artifacts installed and running with a supported version, which, as you can see, I do. So we can return to Pre-built Wizard and open its Operations Manager automation, linked within Admin Essentials, to run Pre-built Wizard. Once I've opened the Operations Manager automation, I click the Run button to run its manual trigger, and you can see I'm presented with several form fields. Scope is like a label that can be used for all of your team's pre-builts or a subset if you prefer. You can provide whatever text you like to be used for your pre-built scope, as long as it begins with an @ symbol. For name and description, I'll simply be going with Demo Pre-built. License will be supplied by default and is not required. Contributor is a required field for which the automation developer or team lead can supply their name. A default README in Markdown is provided, which only need be modified if you choose to more explicitly describe your network automation. Select Zero Touch, so the automation will run end-to-end without any manual steps required from the user. Next, there are optional fields for categories and keywords that can be associated with your new pre-built. For my demo pre-built example, I'll leave these unselected. Last and definitely not least, we need to select a component of the automation that will be used as the entry point for discovery and bundling of the components. You should aim to select the topmost parent workflow that contains all other child workflows and other components, like transformations within it, or the operations manager or automation catalog automation that points to that parent workflow. Accordingly, I'll select my operations manager automation called Demo Automation. After Pre-built Wizard completes quickly with no error, I can navigate back to App Admin Essentials and see my newly created demo pre-built. The components list on the right-hand side makes it easy to see the various components, including the transformation and the two workflows. Now that I have a pre-built created for my network automation, I am ready to run pre-built promotion to kick off the next step in the CI/CD process. Viewing pre-built promotion in Admin Essentials, I can see that there are additional prerequisites that need to be set up in order to install and run pre-built promotion correctly. including the mention of a version control adapter like GitLab, Bitbucket, or GitHub with specified versions. I'll be using GitLab for my version control service, so I've configured a GitLab adapter to point to my private on-prem GitLab server. Let's quickly go to the profile to validate that my GitLab adapter is running version 0.8.0 or greater and the connection is online. Looks good. There are additional requirements for running pre-built promotion. For example, the pre-built that I want to push to version control has already been created and exists in my dev IAP server. That's correct. We can see that easily by opening the local folder here on the left. Further explained below in detail in the README for pre-built promotion, I can see that I have to configure the necessary pipeline variables on GitLab or other version control service so that the CI/CD pipeline can communicate via API and promote my pre-built to my target staging IAP server. For example, on GitLab, I can access and configure those pipeline variables by going to Settings, CI/CD, Variables. These won't all be required depending on your use case. For example, if I just want to promote to Git repos, but not directly import my pre-built components to a target staging IAP environment, then I can leave out a number of these variables, as explained in the README. But since I do want to demonstrate direct promotion to Git repos and to a staging IAP server, it's important that I supply these variables pointing to my target IAP server on the version control service. And also that my target IAP server is running the same IAP version as my dev IAP. Now let's open and run the automation for pre-built promotion, conveniently linked from Admin Essentials. The form asks me to select the adapter created for my version control service, in this case GitLab, the project name of the Git repository to be created or updated. In this case, I'll create a new one called demo pre-built. This is an optional field only relevant for GitHub, not GitLab, so it can be left as is. This is a group path linking to my Git group or workspace. On GitLab, I can see my group path here and in the URL. An option to rediscover pre-built. As explained in the tooltip here, I only need to select this if new components have been added or removed. Since I've just created my new pre-built for the first time, I'll leave this off for now, but we will revisit this when it's time to promote an updated version of this same pre-built. See my local scope. Project path is an optional field only relevant for Bitbucket, not GitLab, so it can be left as is. As noted in the form, the option for type of merge request is only relevant when updating an existing pre-built project repo on Git. Since I am running pre-built promotion on a pre-built that has not yet ever been promoted, it is going to automatically make the initial commit on a primary branch that creates the repository. But for future runs of pre-built promotion, which will be used to update my pre-built on Git, I can use these last three fields to add useful information to the merge request that will open on the branch of my choosing automatically by the CI/CD pipeline. We are now ready to run the pre-built promotion automation. Unlike Pre-built Wizard, there are some manual tasks in the pre-built promotion workflow that will need to be worked by the current user. However, we should click the Auto Work button to enable the pre-built promotion workflow to run end-to-end automatically. Once all the tasks shown in job details are complete, I can navigate to my GitLab server and observe that a new GitLab project repo has been created and that an out-of-the-box CI/CD pipeline is already in progress. Running pre-built promotion for the first time automatically triggers a Git CI/CD pipeline that will first check for security vulnerabilities, validate the pre-built's manifest JSON, bump up our new pre-built's version, create an updated artifact.json. This is one file that contains all the core content of our pre-built. before finally promoting to my designated staging IEP environment. Now we can see that my pipeline steps have completed. On commit to any branch of the Git project repo, the pipeline will perform the steps for quality, test, and generate, and on acceptance of a commit to the primary branch, or acceptance of a merge request committing to the primary branch, there are 2 additional steps, including the version bump and the promotion. Since this was my initial commit, all the pipeline steps were performed as default. We can observe the difference in more detail soon as we make an update to my prebuilt and promote a second time. But first, let's navigate to my target staging IEP server and confirm that my new demo prebuilt has in fact been promoted there with a version bump. Terrific. As we can see, we now have version 0.0.2, as well as a listing of the components described here on the right-hand side. But wait, did I really forget to attach the JSON form I built for this demo automation? There should be a JSON form linked here in my Operations Manager trigger. It's not? Let's check back on the dev server. I can see I did forget to add a JSON form to my Operations Manager automation. Let's quickly link that pesky JSON form before running prebuilt promotion a second time. We'll want our Git repo and target staging IEP server both to be updated too, and it will happen automatically. There. I found and linked my demo JSON form within the demo automation, as I originally intended. While we're at it, let's add a quick description to make it clear that this demo automation is intended to be started with a JSON form. Now that my demo automation has been fixed and updated on my dev IEP server, let's run prebuilt promotion again, this time with Rediscovery selected. These options at the bottom are useful now, since I can choose what type of merge request and message to send. I'll select auto work, and in a few moments I'll be presented with a form, this time for Rediscovery options. Currently on screen, this is one of 2 Rediscovery forms that will be presented when Rediscovery is selected. I can see in the list of components everything I had before. This first form is showing me what was bundled in the prebuilt on the previous run. Everything from before is there. So I can simply click confirm. And as we can see, my demo JSON form was discovered from the Operations Manager provided. Optionally, I can also use this as an opportunity to remove any old components that were originally part of the prebuilt but no longer needed by clicking the trash can on the right-hand side. Once all the tasks shown in job details are complete, I can navigate back to my GitLab server and observe that the GitLab pipeline is running on my branch. Once all the tasks shown in job details are complete, I can navigate back to my GitLab server and observe that the GitLab pipeline is running on my branch. On this second run of prebuilt promotion, and on any future runs, it will ultimately lead to a merge request being opened on the prebuilt Git project repo. In reviewing the merge request, I can see that the changes include my addition of a new component, the demo JSON form, and they also include my update to the description of the operations manager. Finally, before accepting the merge request, I can show how the subset of pipeline steps occur, like we discussed earlier. Once all the tasks shown in job details are complete, I can navigate back to my GitLab server and observe that the Git pipeline is running on my branch. On this second run of prebuilt promotion, and on any future runs, it will ultimately lead to a merge request being open on the prebuilt Git repo. In reviewing the merge request, I can see that the changes include my addition of a new component, my demo JSON form, as well as the update to the description of my operations manager automation. Finally, before we accept the merge request, I can show how the subset of pipeline steps occur on a commit, like we discussed earlier. And the promotion to the target staging IAP and the version bump have not occurred yet. Let's approve the merge request and observe as the final pipeline steps occur. As you can see, upon acceptance of the merge request, the full set of pipeline steps will be performed. As we are waiting for the full set of pipeline steps to complete, let's review a quick summary of the prebuilt promotion lifecycle. After developing and testing automations on your dev IAP server, automation engineers can run Prebuilt Wizard to bundle their automation components together into a new prebuilt, and then run Prebuilt Promotion to push that prebuilt bundle to your version control service and optionally to a staging IAP server according to your desired CI/CD pipeline. Out of the box, Prebuilt Promotion includes a fully functional pipeline that shows best practices and recommendations. It is a foundation intended to be built upon. Ultimately, you should customize your unique CI/CD pipeline as needed to ensure it meets the needs of your team and organization. As the final pipeline step to promote my new updated prebuilt to my target staging IAP has completed, let's navigate to that target IAP and observe that the components list on my demo prebuilt has been updated, and my demo automation and operations manager has the updated description on its trigger. Thank you again for your time today. We hope this video aids in your automation, development, and CI/CD journey.